Okay, so um, the reason why I make videos is because I want to depict what's happening to me, and I know what's happening in my brain versus what's you know reality is two different things. My brain is being manipulated and played with in so different ways, in so many weird ways. What you're seeing here is a video, not a video, but a trailer of a movie on Netflix. But before that, um, I made a video just right before that talking about how they can force me to perceive children in a sexual way. And what they do is, especially with the older kids, they try to make me look at these older kids and try to make me think of them as if they're adults, right? And so in the last video, I was like, in order to make me perceive children in a sexual way, they try to make me look at them in a way that if as if they were adults. And this trailer, was the first time I saw it, I think I went by fast, and the trailer came, and I saw this, and the way they made me perceive this kid. First of all, they tried to give this kid womanly curvature that she doesn't have. She's a kid. She looked like a kid. She's fit like a kid. She has a body of a kid. You typical teenager. She looked typically like 15 something, 14, 15, 16, like maybe 15 max, right? That's what she looks like. In my mind, the way they try to make me look at her in a sexual way is crazy. That's what I deal with every day. If I look at a child, they're gonna try to make me look at children in a sexual way. In the last video, I was talking about how they were saying no, this is natural because in 2014, you follow this person, and this person, she actually looks like an adult. She looked like a woman, even though she wasn't a woman. If I don't want to show the picture, but she actually looked like an adult woman, but she was just somebody who looked older than age. You see her picture of the person I follow, and you like, this person looked like she's 20 something years old. You see this trailer is obviously a child. She looked very much like a child. You know the way they try to make me look at her. One of the pictures, if you go back and see that, her face, they were trying to make me imagine that face to be like a face of like a young adult or whatever. And I'm like, the way they forced me to perceive this kid in a sexual way is disgusting. But that's what they've been doing. The reason why I make videos, I want to show the patterns of how they've been manipulating me, showing the ways they've been changing things, and my perceptions being changed in the ways to make me perceive children in a sexual way, from the older ones, from the younger one to the older ones, and to the one in the middle. This is a typical teenager, just like early teenage kid, right? They've been trying to make me look at this kid in a sexual way. The first time I saw it, because I was like, I don't even want to care about it. I don't want to look at it because they make me imagine this kid having like curves, like sexual curves, like not even sexual, like womanly curves. I'm like, what? And I look back and oh my gosh, this is as much of a kid as it is. Typical. But in my brain, my perception was so messed up, and to the point where like, no, maybe that's somebody else. Like, no, it's like they were trying to create battles in my brain. Like, no, that's probably the friend of somebody, and they were like try to create battles, mental battles, to try to make me feel doubtful. Because like, no, this is the same kid. They were trying to make me imagine, because in some portion of this video, she looked more of a child than others. And in some of those portions, it would be hard for them to try to create a perception that's sexual. And they will play with my brains like, no, maybe this person, no, this is maybe their friend. Maybe I was like, no, that's the same kid. Like, and they try to create these battles in my brain, which I know is what they do. And they're like, no, I got you. It's like, no, I know this is my brain being forced to think in this ways. This is why I make videos or some reality check. Say the things I need to say because my brain is them manipulating me in these ways. And it's like, no, we tricked you. It's like, no, you didn't trick me. I know this is the same person, but you're trying to make me think there's somebody. I was like, I know this. They try to create false battles. And the purpose of this is to try to make you accept these false perceptions toward children. This is obviously a child. My mind, the way I perceive children now, is being manipulated. These are the tactics they've been using to try to make people subscribe to these false personas. It's nasty. Every time I look at a child, they will force me to get perceptions that are disgusting and sexual. They will do everything possible so you can perceive that child as if they're adults. This is obviously not an adult. This is obviously somebody who looks like a child. But they're gonna try to make the target individual perceive these people differently. I'm not the first and I won't be the last. The reason why I make the same videos over and over and over is because I want to always show what they do. This is going to happen again if I see a child. And this is not only happening to me, but it has been happening to others. I don't want to let them escape. And I will never let them escape. Listen to this.
In 2015, I began to experience what some call V2K, or voice to skull. This involves the projection of voices, noises, and music directly into my mind to communicate with me in real time and at the speed of thought. And it also includes the manipulation of thoughts, emotions, and perceptions in the person's mind. Additionally, the targeting is all highly perverted and sexual, as well as destructive and violent.
So you hear that the thoughts and the perceptions are something others have talked about, how it can be manipulated. This is why they create these perceptions. This is why they create those thoughts where like, oh, maybe that's somebody, maybe that's the friend of somebody. Like they try to create these things. And I have to go back like, this is probably falsified, because if I let it go, I'll think like that. So I'm like, I have to verify what's happening, what they try to make me believe. It's like, of course, it's bullshit, BS. They were trying to make me think this way. So then I can see that later on and be like, oh, you see, that's proof. But it's not only that. There's even validation that they do this program perversion and aiming toward children, even teenagers.
Continue. I don't let them get me. Today, they continue with the programming of perversion, but this time they are aiming in the use of people, better said young people, also children and homosexuals. When I aggravated them, I usually called demeaning names, and one of them is referring to homosexuals. For me, all of the slaves are misfits, society haters, scumbags, etc. No, I don't have anything personal against them, homosexuals, but as my way to aggravate the slaves, and since they love to use children for the torture and stalking, street theater etc. Especially teenagers for the stalking at close range with an attitude, they are using them during my sleep in the perversion program, and so you can imagine what the slaves of torture are pretending to do to me.
This is a woman who says, she's a target individual. She identifies as a TI. And she says that they've been doing this program of perversion, forcing her to get reaction that's sexual toward children. And then she kind of specify like teenagers. So this is what they do. This is what they're going to continue to do. They're going to try to create thoughts and perceptions this way and try to be like, oh, we got you, this thoughts. Like, I know my thoughts are not mine. I've been saying that since day one. I know I'm being forced to think in these ways. I know I'm being forced to perceive in these ways. I understand that. And I know your job is to make me look at children from the youngest, from the babies to the oldest in a sexual way. To all my target individuals, stay strong and know that justice will be done.